So you guys saw the video I posted when I first got this bad boy. It's not been that many months. I would say I've used this and owned this for about 4 months now, and I got 3,600 miles on it. So I'm gonna do a little pros and cons of this, of what I found, what I've replaced, and what I'm gonna be adding. This is for anybody who's considering using this Surron or any Surron model as a daily driver, which I do, obviously. So the only things I've really changed are the tires. Those are Dunlop D404 fronts. The rear ones do not fit back here. As you can see, I'm dealing with a little chain rub going on right there, which I'm going to be adjusting by moving the wheel a little bit more forward and closer to the and the grips, and just added some grips to the levers for the brakes, and I upgraded the pads on the Surron to Shimano's, and then I realized Shimano goes pretty quickly, so I'm trying dyoce, and I've tried Trucker Stop. Trucker Stop is pretty decent. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's more of a slow, gradual slowdown before you get the actual bite on the grip. With the Shimano's, it's almost an instant grip, but that comes at the expense of wearing out your pads much quicker. I don't have active regen on this. I prefer it that way. I like coasting. I don't want to lose speed if I lay off the throttle with regen braking and just the motor slowing me down naturally. I will say I'm going to do a review on the dyoce pads, which kind of come looking like this. Exactly the same as the Trucker Stops. I'll be giving a full review on that. I have not upgraded the battery. I've not upgraded the controller yet. I do have a KO Nano, which I'm not going to install. I'm going to bypass that and install a Torp TC500, the far driver one, which is a VEC clone of the BAC 8000. I am going to be upgrading and replacing this, even though I don't need to. It's not that bad. You adjust it, but I prefer air shock, and I have done some maintenance on keeping the pressure on this. This is one of those things that I see a lot of riders going around and their forks dipping out. When I realized that I was experiencing that myself, my PSI was about 20 something PSI. This is supposed to be at around 100 PSI. We dialed it up to about 150 and then gradually brought it down from there to find my comfort zone, but it's something that I recommend. In order to do that, you need one of these bad boys. It's a shock pump. I think I got this one for like $9 on Amazon, and it's been fantastic. Other than that, I will say that as a daily driver, this is fantastic. I do wish the chain required a little bit less maintenance. I think part of my issue has been with the rubbing, and I just cleaned this sucker up, and this is the result after I cleaned this chain 3 days ago and then got caught in the rain with it one time, and this is the result. So stay on top of your chain management. As far as I can tell, for the daily driver, this is an exceptional bike. It's worth every penny. I have the 32 amp hour version. I don't know what Unicycle was thinking, despite the 2023 version having a 40 amp battery, which is what I should have received, but I didn't. With the 32 amps, I've actually done about 35 miles. I don't like bringing my battery below 30%. I don't recommend you bring your battery consistently below the 25 to 20% range. There are some videos on YouTube on how to bring your battery back to life. I don't want to engage in that. So I will be picking up a battery from Chai Battery at some point, or Power Lithium, whatever makes the most sense. I'm more about range, not so much speed. Other than that, I will say this is life-changing because the sheer amount of maintenance that I don't have to do on this on a daily basis, where I would have to do that for an electric scooter. This, as long as you keep your PSI right in your tires, you keep the PSI correct in your shocks, and you maintain your battery, All you really have to do is do pad changes every couple of 100 miles. Maybe bleed the brake kit once your levers start getting closer to the bar as you press them. But honestly, I have no complaints over this. Everything that I wanted was on it. Everything that I wanted to add on it is available for it. I've ridden the Talaria, the Sting, I've ridden the Triple X. I'm not a big fan. It's very uncomfortable. It's kind of more compact. Even though the Stinger is a little bit bigger than the X, it's still very compact and very hard on the hips and on the back, lower back. If you're up there in age like me, that's significant. If you guys have any questions, again, I have 3,600 miles on this, so I've probably encountered many of the stuff that you guys have. I would say just basic, go over your screws, go over your nuts, go over your bolts once a week. This, especially if you're doing off-road or city riding and hitting a lot of potholes, things will come loose, and you have to definitely stay on top of that. So without any more, I wish you guys well, and thank you for checking out the video.